while I am demonstrating the working process, please keep your volume down, right? Otherwise, when, my recording will have a lot of noise inside. So please help me to do that. So first thing, here is the process. Here is the schedule for today. We are going to finish the face retypology, so including the lips part, the eyes part, and also the ear part. So once we finish all this stuff, then we are going to merge the face model with our body and finish the entire low poly model. The next things we are going to do is to do the unwrap UV map, so which means that we are going to split your model in a couple pieces and turn that one into a 2D texture. Once we have the 2D texture, then we can start to using texture pen. No matter you are going to use in Blender or you want to use in the 3D Code, both of them are fine. Probably 3D Code will be more realistic, and Blender, you need more process to make the things look better. But anyway, both of them are fine. You can try to use them. Up to you. So once we finish the texture pen, next week we are going to do the rigging stuff. So that will be the last part for this semester. Okay? So that's the things. Anyway, let's get started. So in the last week, I think we have pretty much finished the overall view of this head. And I will send you the link of the ear later. Because for the ear part, usually I would suggest you, if you do want to make the ear typology by yourself, I would suggest you, first things, you can remove the rest of the part, just keep the ear model independently. Then using the tool we have, probably like Core Remesh, for that one, I think it works fine. So you can just directly using Core Remesh to get the result, the low poly model of your ears. So that's the things. But for this time, I will just directly give you the free access, and you can just directly using this one to do your ear model. Alright, so last time we have already finished this one. I hope you have followed our progress and try to do the retypology. No matter you are going to use Core Remesher or probably the BP surface, that's the tools we have right here, not here, probably right here, the BP surface tools, or you just using a simple manually operation. Both of them, all of them are fine. Just try to find the one which is more suitable for you. Okay, so the next things we are going to do is to fix the head, this part. So for that part, very simple. Let's just go to the edit mode. And we can just simply choose the edge. Go to the edge selection mode. Choosing the edge. And please go choosing the appropriate one. I think it will be around here. So choose them, press F key to fill them together. And then we can press Ctrl and R or using the loop cut tool to increase the number of the segment. So probably the number of the segment you have to take a look about how many segments you have right here. Probably now the things we have is around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probably we need 6 segments. So let's just using 6 segments to do that. Let's press Ctrl R using the loop cut tool and increase the number of the segment. And try to increase that one to appropriate number. Since now we already have applied the shrink wrap modifier, so the result will be automatically snapped to the original reference shape, which means our sculpting model. So that's the idea. Let's quickly finish this part, and then we can merge the separated vertex together. Press F key to merge them together, Ctrl and R, and increase the number of the segment. And turn that one to 6. So let's quickly finish that one. And if the number cannot fit with each other, so for example, like the front side has more edge, and the back side doesn't have so many edge, it is okay. Just remember, you can increase the number of the segment on the back side, because for the back side, it won't be animated. So it doesn't matter how many segments you have. You can have more or have less, up to you. So it is okay to increase the number of the segment on the back side. But from the front side, I would say try to avoid touch that, because for that part, Once you touch that, then we will spend a lot of time to reorganize the typologies. So that's the things. Anyway, let's quickly finish this part. Press F key to merge them together. Ctrl and R increase the number of the segment. Alright. And how about this part? Do we have to do that? Well, up to you. You can just using the same way to finish that. So let's press F key. Oh, sorry. Let's do that again. This part is a little bit distorted. So actually, I would say let's try to hold on your Shift and Alt key. Select all the edge, press F key. And then we can try to connect them dot together. So that will be the last part. For the middle, let's do the same things. Press F key, connect them together. Ctrl and R using loop cut to increase the number of the segment in the middle. For that part, let's do that later. Okay, so let's give you some time to finish this part, then we can keep moving forward. And once you finish the connection, don't forget go to the vertex selection mode and merge the separated vertex together. Because for now, they are still separated. So you have to choosing them using frame selection to select the vertex and press M key to merge the curves by distance or merge the vertex at center. So now, once you do that, there will be an intact geometry. Let's give you some time to finish this operation, probably around 10 minutes to do this operation, then we can keep moving forward. Alright guys, let's keep moving forward. So once you finish the filling of the top part of the head, probably some part is not that flattened or not that smooth at all. So you can try to using sculpting mode, using some sculpting brush to refine the typology. So here is the thing. Once I finish this area, I have already using the technique I teach you before, using the F key to connect the hole and also using the loop cut to increase the number of a segment. Finally merge them together. So here is the result. Some part probably is not that smooth at all, so you can try to using sculpting tool to refine the typologies. So let's go to sculpting mode. And the things I was talking about is that probably some part like this part is not that smooth at all. And usually we prefer all of them are equal. So which means the area size or probably the width and length of the edge for the core mesh, I hope that can be equal. So we can use in smooth brush to refine that, try to make them be equal. So that's the thing. But for that part, it's not necessary. I would say it's not completely necessary, but you can try to using this one to refine your geometry. Okay, so once we finish this part, let's keep moving forward. The next things I'd like to do will be about the nose. So we will finish the nose first, this part. Then let's start to deal with the lips. And finally, let's do the last part for the eyes. And once we finish all the things on the face, we can start to deal with the ear. I just upload the link on the Google Meet, so you can just directly download the ear that I have made before. You can just directly using that. Probably the number of the face is still a little bit too high, so you can just simply using your own way to refine that. You can use in query mesh to reduce the number of the segment, or you can just using manually way to select the edge to reduce the number of the segment. Both of them are fine, up to you. Okay, so let's take a look about the nose. If you remember, when we are working on the mouth, I think I have already told you that before. Because when we smile, when people smile, for example, right now I'm smiling, and we will have this kind of crease on your face, right? This part on the side of your mouth, we will have this kind of crease. And this crease will connect to your nose wing. So that's the reason why when we are working on a typology, we have to carefully make the surrounding typology of the mouth be connected. And also in the end, it has to connect it to your nose wing. So that's the thing. So for the nose wing part, let's try to do that. First thing, let's go to edit mode. Go to the face selection mode. Let's choosing the border here, and we can using this edge to start to extrude. Let's press E and X. Sorry, let's do that again. Let's press E and X for extruding. Probably we have to extrude 2 times. And for now, because the shrink wrap will force our model be snapped to the original sculpting model. So before we do that, actually we can apply the shrink wrap modifier first. So let's go to here, choosing apply. We can re-put the shrink wrap modifier on our model later. But for now, I want to temporarily apply that. So let's go to here, choosing the face, and then choosing extrude, E and X. Extruding 1 time, extruding 2 times. So now we will have the nose. For sure, it's not perfect, so we still have to use it manually to adjust that. But for now, I think there will be some little difference between your sculpting model and also your low poly model. For the nose part, it will be one thing. I think it will not be exactly the same, just like our sculpting model. So, but it is okay. I would say it is okay. It's something very regular since it's impossible for you to keep them same. Anyway, let's go to the edit mode and choosing the vertex and start to refine the shape of your nose wings. Okay, probably just manually change that. Make them can follow your design, your idea. Let's go to here. And also for now, the nose wing, the upside of the nose wing, obviously is pretty huge. So let's try to scale down a little bit. And also in the under part, we have to move them inside. So that's it. That's about the nose wing. Okay. And how about the nose holes on your model? For the nose hole, it's very simple. You just simply choosing a face to extrude it inside, it will be fine. And for me, in this case, probably will, wait for a second. Let me refine the shape on the bottom side. So now let's start to extruding the nose holes. The nose hole, I think it can be right here or here. Both of them are fine, up to you. Depends on your typology. So in this case, I will put them in this part. I think it will be more safe. So let's choosing them. But obviously now it's a little bit too narrow. So let's try to scale up a little bit. Oh shit. Okay, let's scale up this one a little bit. Press E and Z for extruding. 1 time. E and Z for 2 times. And make sure they are kept inside. The rest of the part is about to refine the shape and the nose wing, but for that part, I think you can try to do that by yourself. It's not that hard at all. And also, actually, we don't need the face inside the nose hole. So you can just directly press X key to delete the face, make them be hollow. So it is okay. Okay, that one is okay. And so for that part, for the rest of the part, just try to refine the shape of the nose hole. Make sure it was kept inside and there's no intersections between the face. Enlarge that. Alright, so now we have. But the shape right here still looks a little bit weird because the border obviously is a little bit too sharp. So let's try to refine that, and also meanwhile try to keep the nose wing looks better. This one supposed to follow the shape of the nose wing, so we can try to refine the typology right here. Okay, I will stop right here and give you some time to refine the shape right here. And if you do need to increase the number of segments, just do that. It is okay. Because this part is very, very important. So you can put more edge right here to increase the detail on your nose wings. Alright, so let's give you some time to finish this area. Just remember one important thing. The nose wing, the side of the nose wing has to connect it to the ring of the mouse. So that part is the most important thing for the entire model for your mouse. Once we finish the shape of the nose, for sure it's not a perfect one. You can see that the nose hole actually is too narrow and also too close to each other. But at least for now, the front view, side view looks okay. Let's just keep moving forward, alright? So the next things we are going to do is about the mouse. Let's go to the edit mode. So for the mouse, let's take a look about the finished one. Here. For the mouse, usually we will create an inner hole to put the tongue and also teeth. So when the character smile or speak, there are some inner detail that we can see. Otherwise, all the things inside they will be empty. But for this time, probably we don't have time to deal with the mouse, deal with the teeth, the tongue, that kind of stuff. But still, I will ask you guys to make the inner space for putting that kind of stuff. Let's take a look. I will using the X-ray mode to show you. So here, that's the inner space. So there, can you see that right here? There's an inner space that's supposed a little bit too small, I think, for this one. For this, the things I made before, actually, it's supposed to be bigger. Put the inner stroke and then connect to your neck. So that's the idea. That's the things we're going to do for the next. Let's wipe out the notations. So for that part, let's try to do that. Go back to our model here. So let's choosing the edge of the model on the mouse area. Edge. Hold on your Shift and Alt key, and you can do the range selections. Now let's press E and S to scale. Actually, for this one, I want to using bounding box center so that it can merge in the center. And let's press E and let's do that again. If I using scale, it will using this both sides as a scaling center, so that will be a problem. That's okay. Let's just press E for extruding, and let's press Y for extruding inside. E and Y for extruding, and E and Y for extruding. So now I have two segments inside. And how about the side view? For now, I want to temporarily turn off the mirror modifier, and I'll probably just see this side. It will be fine. So let's choosing this side. Let's go using the slash key to turn off the other things. Go to the side view and choosing the edge that we already have. Okay, let's keep extruding. Let's press E for extruding. And then this time I want to enlarge this one. So let's press SZ. Enlarge a little bit. Move them forward. E and Y for extruding, and scale in the Z directions. Create a hole to put your teeth and tongue. Just keep moving. Just keep using this operation. Let's press E, S, Z, enlarge that. E, Y, E, S. E, Z. Okay, so next thing, let's just rotate this one and make this part go down. So let's press E for extruding, E for extruding. Rotate a little bit. Okay, so now we have. Actually, it doesn't have to be that long, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, this part is just for putting the tongue and also teeth, that kind of inner stuff. So the next part things we can do is to refine the shape of the legs. Just hold on your Shift and Alt key, and I want to scale down this one a little bit. Let's move them up. For sure now it looks pretty weird because this is completely flattened scenes. So it should not look like that. So that's the things we have to refine. Let's go to the side view. refine that. And probably you can make this one a little bit flattened. So let's press S and Z, flatten a little bit. Move this one going down. And if there is any model go intersected, please fix that manually because this should not happen. So let's just go to using the edge selection mode and move them go up. For last part, nothing special, just manually work. So please try to do that. Try to using the manual way to do that. And if you do need more edge, just create one more edge. Now all the things inside, they are connected. I mean, this is the inner space of the mouse. You can see that because the typology right now we are working on looks fine. So you still can using the loop cut tool to cut off the ring, just like this. Okay. So if you do need more edge to shape the lips, just do that. It is fine. Okay, let's give you some time to finish the operation. Please help me to finish the inner space of the mouse and then try to using the typology way to refine the shape of the lips. Just follow the original sculpting model. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is to turn on the mirror modifier. Don't forget to set origin to the 3D cursor or to the world center. Otherwise, it won't work. So, cursor to world origins and set origin to 3D cursor. And don't forget to apply the subdivision modifier. Alright, now let's talk about how to do the eyeball. So, let's go to the edit mode and turn on the proportional editing. Let's using the sphere to affect the shape of the eyelids. So for example, the some part has to go up, then we can just use this way to do that. And also you can using probably this part we can turn off that, enlarge that. And using this sphere to affect the shape, so turn on the proportional editing to shape your eyelids. Make sure they can follow the shape of the sphere, so that it will look more natural. And if you do need more, probably segment, like here, probably we need one more segment. Let's press Ctrl R to increase that. Alright, just like that. So by using the proportional editing, we can using the sphere to affect the shape of the eyelids. So just by turn off and turn on that, and you can control using that to shape and also form the shape of the eyelids. So please help me to finish that part. Okay guys, let's keep moving forward. I assume that you guys have finished the shape of the eye. Basically, the typology of the eye is pretty simple. Once you finish the ring typology on the surrounding of the eyeballs, it will be fine. The things we just make is simply using the sphere to shape the eyelids. Make sure the eyelid can completely cover the eyeballs. So that's it, nothing special. The next things we have to extrude the edge of the eye holes because there are some gap in between them. It's very common things, so it is fine. But we still have to use an extrusion to extrude some face, and so that we can use in the face to cover the gap between the eyelids and the eyeballs. So let's go to the edit selection mode, and choosing edge selection. Hold on your Shift and Auto key to do the extruding. Press E and Y for extruding. So that's it. So now we have it. So next is you can try to refine the shape of the eyeballs. So I just separate this one. If you want to separate the eyeball, very simple. Just go to here, choosing the eyeball. This is an example, okay? So if you want to separate the things, for example, like the eye, just go to here, go to edit mode, choosing the one you want to separate it. Press P for separator selection. So that's it, nothing special. Just press P to separate the selections. Okay. So anyway, let's try to refine the shape of the eyeballs. Very simple. Let's just go to edit mode of the eyeball and select the rings like this. And if you want, we can select more. I hope that the the eyeball can be a little bit huge, so let's enlarge the selection area. Okay, probably something like this, a little bit too large, so maybe just like this, it will be fine. Alright, so let's choose that and press E for extruding. I will extrude this part on the Y selection, Y directions. Wait for a second. Right, so let's press EY for extrusions one time, and if you want, you can extrude 2 times. So that's it. So now you can get the shape of the eyeballs. So once you finish, I think we have to enlarge that a little bit to make sure it can cover the entire eyelids, just like that. And for this one, let's just directly mirror this one to the another side. So not very simple. Let's just set the origins to the cursors. So let's choose the S, move the cursor to selected, and then set the origin to the 3D cursor and mirror it. So it will be done. That's it. So once you finish the eyeballs, the next things we are going to do, probably this one is a little bit too high, but it is okay. Let's just move them inside. So now let's start to deal with the ear part. For the ear part, very, very simple. First thing is let's turn on the X-ray mode so that we can see the overlapping area. And for the overlapping area, we are going to delete the face on your eye, on the head part. So let's just go to the edit mode, choosing the face selection, delete the overlapping face. Let me quickly finish this part. Probably also here. Let's delete the face. Delete the face. Alright? So once we delete the empty overlapping face, then we can start to merge them together. Probably you may wonder, so we have so many segments on the ear, but we have less segment on the head. So how can we merge them together? For that part, I would say just delete the edge. It doesn't matter because for the number of for the ear, it won't move. So it doesn't need so many edge or it doesn't need so many detail. Unless you want to keep the detail, then it is fine. You just merge. You can just make them become a triangle shape. It is also okay because for the ear, it won't move. So you can just using the triangle shape to merge them. Alright, I will just directly merge them together. So let's choose in both of them. Press Ctrl J for join them. Don't forget to turn on the subdivision modifier. So now let's start to merge them together. For that part, very simple. Let's just choosing the close edge, close vertex, and merge by center. Let's do that. Okay, so for this overlapping area, then let's just try to refine that. There is still some overlapping area, so we can just simply delete this inner face and try to merge and combine them together. Okay, so now we have, but there is some floating edge we haven't connected. So how can we deal with that? Just like what we said before, simply delete that. Or if you do need to keep this detail, then we can use in triangle. It is fine because this part, it won't be moved. So we can just merge them together. We can have this kind of shape. It is okay. Alright, so pretty much done, but there is still some floating edge right here. Let's take a look. For now, I'm not so sure where are they. Okay. Alright, pretty much done. Okay, so I assume this one is pretty much done. Let's try to reorganize the normal direction. Go to the edit mode, choosing the all face, press Shift N to refine the normal, so all that kind of sharp angle will disappear. Now, if you still want to keep everything looks like, let's say, cool mesh, you still can do the refining about that. Like this part, you can actually try to connect them and make sure everything is cool mesh. But I would say just for the ear part, it really doesn't matter because this part it won't move, so you can just keep like that. So the last thing is about the jaw. For the jaw, we are going to actually we have already done that because it's not that good at all. All right, let's try to do that. So for the jaw, I want to make this part be triangle shape. So it's a little bit different from what the things we are talking about. Because for the jaw, sometimes it will move. So it's supposed to connect to here. We can reshape the typology right here. So probably depends on which way you want to do. So in my case, probably I would just simply make this part become triangle shape and connect to the bottom side of the ear. Actually, I already do that. You can see that right here. This is the triangle shape, but it's not on the location that I want to have. So for me, I'd like to make this part become a triangle shape and move everything inside. So that will be the last things I do for this face model. Let's try to do that, okay? Let's use the knife tool, go to the edit mode, turn off the subdivisions. Snap and cut. Alright, so let's use the knife tool to cut off the edge here. So now we have. Let's turn on the subdivision modifier again. So this is the position that I want to make the jaw, the crease of the jaw probably more deep. So I will move them inside. So you can see that right now we have a more clear jaw on the bottom side. So let's shape it. Alright, pretty much finished. So that's it. I think basically that's the whole thing about the face. Once you finish, you can apply the mirror modifier. I think right now we don't need the shrink wrap or the mirror modifier anymore. So you can just directly apply that. And the next thing we're going to do is to merge all the things together. We're going to merge this head model with the body part. Basically, the idea is pretty much like the things we did with the ear, but it has to be continuously. So that's the only difference. Please help me to finish the rest part of the head, then we can keep moving forward and finish the entire body. So once you finish the typology and also the detail refining of your low poly model, then you can just directly apply the mirror modifier. So you can get the final one. So probably you may wonder, so where is the eyebrow and eye slash? I mean, the eyebrow here and eye slash. So where is that? For that kind of things, usually we will use in texture to do that. Or if you want, we also have the fur texture, fur system inside Blender. So both of them are fine. But in this case, I will prefer to use the eyebrow and eye slash using the texture to do that. So that would be a better solution rather than using the fur system, because the fur system, it is time consuming, although it is realistic, but probably but it would take too much time to deal with that, and also sometimes it's pretty tricky. Anyway, let's finish the last one. So now we have already finished the model of our head, so we are going to join them together. So this is the retypology body, and this is the final head. Let's try to merge them together. Let's press Shift and S, move the cursor to selected object, and also let's move the target object to the cursor. And let's try to manually adjust the shape. Okay, more or less they can fit with each other. Now we can hide the original model, so we don't need that one anymore. So how can we merge them together? Well, how can we merge them together? In this case, just like the things what we have done before, basically we can just force them be merged together. Even their age, number of segments are different, but still we can force them to be merged together. Alright, anyway, let's try to do that. So let's move the model to these positions. Just more or less make them can fit with each other. If your model works properly, I think that's supposed to be pretty much the same. Alright, the next thing is let's try to delete the rest part, the original head on the low poly body model. So let's go to hide the head model, go to the edit mode of this one, then go to the face selection mode. And remember, inside Blender, there's a weird thing. You can only select the things you see. So if you want to select the big face, you have to go to the wireframe mode. Let's delete the face. Here, delete all of them. Okay, also this part. Let's try to clean up the model. To be honest, I think the shape of this one of the body model looks a little bit weird. This part is not a flattened one, but because I guess it want to help us to follow the shape of the muscle, so they have this kind of flow on the wireframe. So it's a little bit weird, but it's okay. Alright, anyway. Let's go to the side view, delete the face. Make sure there are symmetries. So once you finish, let's open up the original model, the original face model. Turn on everything. Alright, so now we have these two. Probably we can delete more. For the body model, I'd like to turn on the mirror modifier because otherwise I have to do it twice. So it will be a little bit annoying. So let's turn on the mirror modifier and then just directly merge them together. I would delete all the face right here. Just using the X-ray mode to show the overlapping area. Alright, and then delete the face. Alright, anyway, no matter how it looks like, I will just directly merge them together. Let's just select them, press Ctrl and J, join them together. The next thing is just like the things what we have done before. Let's try to force them be merged together. And also we have to turn on the shade smooth or probably the subdivision modifier. Right now you will see that it looks a little bit weird. Some part looks probably looks like broken or something. We have to refine the shape first. Let's go to the edit mode, press Shift N to refine that. Okay. And if you do need more fade on the body part, yeah, we still can do that. Wait for a second. Let's undo the merge. For this one, probably you can see that right now the number of the edge looks pretty much different. The edge of the body is much more dense than the head. So we can apply the subdivision modifier first. But I would suggest you to keep the original model so that if you want to change, we still have chance to change that. So now let's select this one, choosing apply. So for now, I think it's pretty much the same. We can start to merge them together. So for the rest of the part, it's just about manually work. I will leave this part for you guys to do that. So the operation is just like that. First thing, delete the overlapping part. Second thing, try to apply the subdivision modifier. And finally, force them be merged together. So that's the idea. So for this part, I will leave this work for you guys. So please help me to finish this part. And meanwhile, I was still working on my own model and try to merge them together. Basically, you can see now they are pretty much the same. The number of the edge looks pretty much the same. So you can just directly force them be merged together. So this is my finished model, okay? This is my finished model. Basically, if we turn on the wireframe, you can see that some of the edge and also some of the wireframe actually it doesn't connect perfectly, but more or less they still keep the original shape and connect to the body part. So I think it's pretty much done. And also the face typology looks fairly okay. So for now, the model is pretty much done. So the next things, based on my schedule and based on my teaching plan, the last two things I want you guys to learn, one thing is texture painting. Another one is about the rigging stuff. If we don't have enough time to finish the rigging, then we can just simply use Mixamo to do that. Well, it is also okay. But if we still have time, I do want to teach you guys about how to do a properly rigging by manually way. Alright. So anyway, let's take a look about the texture painting part. That will be the next things we're going to do. So first things we have to create a UV map for the texture. So you can split your windows to two segments just by put your mouse to the border of your window and your mouse icon will turn into a cross section. Next thing, please turn on the UV editor or image editor. Yes, we can use in the image editor first, and you can press a new, and let's call this one UV. And usually for this time, since now we are going to make a whole body UV texture map, so we can make the resolution a little bit higher. So let's set this one 3072. And for that one, 3072. It must be a quote match, quote size. So the width and the height is supposed to be the same. Let's just click new image and let's save this one. Save. Let's call this one UV map. Right? So next things, once we have the map, you can go to the UV editor. Right now, I think we don't have any UV map. You can see that the UV actually, although we already merged everything together, but on the UV map part, this one looks pretty messy. Basically, everything mixed together. So that will be a problem. Usually, we can just directly press U and using smart UV project, and you will split your model to a couple different pieces and make sure all the UV map size they are pretty much equal. But in this case, since now we are working on human body, so rather than using automatic way, I want you guys using manual way to unwrap the UV map. So you can see the red color edge. That's the UV map splitting edge that I made for this model. Please take a look at this one. So basically, for sure, we have to split the arm, the leg with the body. And also the two legs, we have to split them. So what's the point about to put the seam edge? The point is that you have to put them that, not that obviously. Because for the UV map, UV texture, no matter how good you paint, no matter how good your shader you do, basically it still will have some border edge. So we have to put the seam edge in something that probably it cannot be seen or that it will be unseen. Like this area, basically it's hard to be seen. So we can put the cutting edge right here. Or another one, like the arm, we can put the cutting edge on the bottom side. And for the head part, for sure the neck is unavoidable. So that's for sure that will be an A right here. And for the ear, basically it's a complicated geometry. So we have to separate that. And also for the head, just imagine that basically it's gonna be like a face mask. So it's impossible to unwrap the UV map without a middle edge. So for this part, we will cut a middle edge in the center. So that's the things. You can take a look about the cutting edge that I make for now. And also for the arm, probably we will separate this part. So let me draw a rough sketch for you guys. For sure, the hand, we have to split that. And also the leg, we have to split that. And for sure, these two legs, they have to be separated. And these two arms, I will cut them from bottom side. Alright, I'll cut them from bottom side. And also for the head, we have to cut them from the neck. And for 2 ears, we have to separate them. And also remember, we have one throat right here, right? So also this part, we will cut them. And on the back side, we can just directly cut them from the back side so that you can using this seam edge to unwrap and flatten the face. So that's the things. And also for all the things here, still you need one more cut in the bottom for the arm. Like this one. Otherwise it cannot be unwrapped because this is a cylinder. If you just directly flatten the cylinder, it will totally be distorted. So for that part, and also same things, same idea, right here we need one edge. Okay? So that's the things. So once you understand the idea of the seam edge, let me tell you how to do the seam edge. First things, go to edit mode. Second things, choosing the edge selection mode. And for this part, just like what we said before, I want to put the seam edge in something that cannot be seen, will be unseen position. So let's hold on Shift and the Alt key, choosing the edge in the middle, probably this part. Okay, can you see that? There's the edge. Right click, choosing this one, mark seam. So this one will be our seam edge. Alright? And if you think, okay, because for this part we are going to separate the arm, so separate the foot. So for this part, I'd like to remove that. So how can we remove the edge? Very simple. You just select them and choosing clear seam, so they will be disappear. That's the idea. And for this part, I can only show you how to do that, but I cannot define where you're supposed to put, because all of your typology probably will be a little bit different based on the human body you have made. So for that part, you can just take a look about mine and also using that as a principle to do your own UV unwrapping. All right. So I will say this one. I will take this one as your homework. Please help me to finish this part. All right. Let's see. Clear seam, something like that. Okay. So basically, the things I haven't finished is the bottom seam edge on the arm and also the same edge on the hand, and probably also two same edge on the body side. And once we finish that, we can just directly go to face selection mode and choose all the face here. Press U for unwrapping. It will take for a while because this one is huge. And if your same edge put properly, basically your UV map will be very, very nice, very beautiful. Basically, it's gonna be a symmetry model. And also, all the cool mesh face, they are supposed to be pretty much same, has pretty much same size. So that will be the final result we want to have. Anyway, I will put this part as a homework for you guys. Please try to finish that. And just remember one important principle. First thing, the same edge is supposed to be symmetry. Second thing, the location, the position of the same edge is supposed to be in some place that cannot be seen. So like the back side, like the bottom side, just like that. Okay? And remember, right now you are going to unwrap the UV map. It's just like an origami. You are going to unwrap this model and flatten them. So if the model looks like a cylinder, there's supposed to be a vertical cutting edge in the middle, and so that you can use the edge to flatten your model. So please remember this principle. Okay, so for my example model, I will upload this one to our Facebook teaching group, and you can take a look about the final result. And just by one more thing, again, don't use my example as your final one. Even you change and modify that, I still can see that. So please don't challenge that. Try to make the things by yourself. No matter how good or how bad it is, I think the point is about the learning process. It's not about the final result. Okay? Alright, so right now it's 3:59 o'clock. So if you don't have any questions, we can dismiss now. Next week will be our last class, so please try to catch up the progress. 同学哦